and welcome back to Gold Rush. And we've got a great run for you. We've got Castlevania Circle of the Moon by JupiterClimb. Jupiter, take it away.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is JupiterClimb. I know we had some technical issues on my end, actually, so I'm going to go ahead and jump right in, and I'll kind of explain the category as we go. So timer starts in 3, 2, 1, start. So this is Circle the Moon. This is the first GBA Castlevania. And this game is pretty well known for having multiple different character classes you can choose from. There's Magician mode, Fighter mode, but today we're going to be playing on the default Vampire Killer mode. So this is the mode you get when you first start a fresh file. The goal here is to defeat all the bosses. And we're going to be making use of a number of different glitches to speed that process along. Right off the bat, I'm going to need to pick up a couple of cards. Thankfully, the drop rates in this game really aren't too bad. So we're just going to farm a couple of enemies to make that happen. As you can see at the start, Nathan's walk speed is very slow. But we'll be picking up some dash boots pretty early on. Okay, there's the first card we need. Okay, the second card we need is from these skeleton bombers here, so I'm going to just farm this one until we get it. Now this game has an extremely infamous glitch called the card swap glitch. Basically, the way the system works is there are 20 cards in total in this game. And with different combinations, you can access different abilities. But, normally you need the cards to activate specific abilities. So, for example, if you wanted an endgame ability, you would have to equip 2 endgame cards to activate it. But with this glitch, we actually have access to every card combination right from the start. So here I'm going to activate a card combo and swap in the middle of the card activation animation, and all of a sudden I've got an endgame dash ability. As you can see, we're really moving along here. This is not an ability you're supposed to have until much, much later in the game. Gonna stop in here, get some more MP. So the most important form of movement in this game is dashing. We picked up those dash boots earlier. And in this game, you double tap to dash. So I'm going to be trying to make use of that pretty much everywhere.
I'm just going to throw this out there, chat, but we're at 600, so if somebody wanted to donate $66, we could really get this Castlevania run off the ground here.
Oh, by the way, I'm a skeleton. Nice. So that probably requires some explaining. I just turned into a skeleton and did 9,000 damage to the boss. That is a super late game Easter egg combination where if you equip the 2 last cards, you can actually turn it into that skeleton. There's a 1 in 8 chance that instead of throwing a small bone that does 1 damage, you'll throw a big bone that does hundreds, if not thousands, of damage. And as you can imagine for a speedrun, even though it is a little bit luck dependent, it's very useful. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of the Goofy Skeleton over the course of the run. But next up, we got another major glitch. We're going to be warping around a little bit. So I'm going to save here for safety. This trick's pretty tough. So we're going to make our way back up to the start, which seems odd. There's nothing you can normally do over here. It's just kind of a dead end. However, if we activate this combo and get a frame-perfect warp, easy every time, we're going to go say hi to Dracula real quick. A little bit too far to the left. Hang on, let me reset this up. There we go. We're looking for a big bone here. Ooh, bad luck. So yeah, there's that 1 and 8 coming into effect. We're very underleveled at this point. We are obviously not supposed to be here. This is the second to last boss in the game. So if I just did this, it would take a while, but if we can get one big bone, we'll be able to finish it up. There it is, okay. So basically what just happened there is we did a vertical wrap to climb up that large pit we fell down at the start of the game. Then we did a second warp to enter this door in a glitchy state. And what that does is it loads Dracula, but the behavior of the fight isn't loaded. The cutscene doesn't start. So Dracula's hitbox is actually active, but he can't move. So he's a sitting duck. And now we're going to pick up about 23 level ups back to back. So it's much faster to go out of order like this because all those levels are going to greatly improve Nathan's HP, Nathan's defense, Nathan's strength, and Nathan's intelligence. So it's smarter to knock this out of the way early. Saves minutes over the course of the run. Get back to our dash combo. Okay, so next up, the boss you're supposed to fight at this point is a boss called the Necromancer, but that's a little bit slower. So we're going to go out of order once again. Vertical wrap. And there we go. Now we're going to head into the clock tower from the back entrance. This is the way you're supposed to leave the area. So once again, even with all those levels, we're in a situation where Nathan is not super strong. I mean, you could defeat this boss the intended way if you wanted, but it would take a while. So we're going to rely on the skeleton once again. I don't want to go too far to the right here. That looks good. Bad skeleton luck. There it is. So you'll notice the cutscenes are all in Japanese. It actually is faster to play on the Japanese version because, interestingly, that version is easier. Basically, the big difference between the regional versions, the Japanese version has quicker text. But more importantly, you get levels quicker in this version of the game. So, you know, stateside, for example, we actually got a harder version of Circle of the Moon, which I think is part of the reason why this game has a reputation for being pretty difficult compared to other games in the series.
It's interesting that they decided to make the game harder when they brought it out over here.
Yeah, you rarely see it that way, right? It's normally in reverse.
Kind of makes you wonder if they were like, "Wow, everybody's beating this game too quickly. Let's torture the Americans."
It's possible. I mean, Circle the Moon in a lot of ways is a black sheep for the Igavania games. In fact, Iga himself didn't even work on Circle the Moon. And this game is the only game in the series that is considered non-canon. But if you ask me, it's one of the very best, despite that. So now we're actually going to go the quote-unquote normal way to Necromancer, who is the intended second fight. However, it is faster to do a warp, so we're going to do a warp. Now, something I didn't mention about the skeleton, because it hasn't been super relevant yet. Anytime you get hit as the skeleton, no matter how much defense or HP you have, it's a one-hit kill. So that's the downside. And this fight can be a little bit scary. It's definitely easy to die here. So I'm going to go for the skeleton strat a couple of times, and then I do have a backup if needed. But skeleton saves at least a good 10 to 15 seconds, if you get lucky. There we go. Easy.
Nice.
Just get lucky. That's the trick.
Yeah, getting lucky in a marathon setting is no easy feat.
No, for me it almost always goes the opposite way. I was doing a Dawn of Sorrow run a couple of weeks back, and I had to get a particular soul farm. It took me 12 minutes to get that soul drop. So, yeah, bad marathon luck is quite common. But here so far, this run's going great. I'm happy to see it. So let me explain a little bit about what we're going to do now. At the moment, we're going the intended way. You kind of wall jump up here and head to the right. But you're supposed to go fight a boss called Adramelech next. Instead, we're going to use another brand new glitch and go to Camilla instead, who's one of the very last bosses. Okay, so we're going to head down here. Switch back over to the skeleton. And this is a trick called the Bone Float. It's frame perfect, so I got to be precise here. Okay, easy. So yeah, we just did some kind of crazy super jump. I'll be completely honest. I have no idea how that trick works or why it works. I just know that it does work. Normally, you got to go through this whole sewer areas down here, but we took the back way by doing that super jump. And that's really important because after Camilla, we get flight. So we can access all kinds of areas easily. So we're not going to use the skeleton here. You could, but it would be very dangerous and actually a little bit slower. Instead, we're going to see the first use of a summon. This is the Cockatrice Summon. Does big damage, especially when enemies are on the side of the screen like that. And now we pick up a really important key item, the Rock Wing. Using this item, if you press R, you can fly in the air, as I'll demonstrate here in a moment. Okay, so that was a little detour. Now we're going to go back on the intended path. But why not? Let's do another warp. Okay, very good.
Definitely nothing more fun in a speedrun than a good warp.
Agreed. Yeah, this is a game where I feel like not a lot of people know just how broken you can make it if you implement all the tricks. It's definitely got some fun ones.
Yeah, as a beat 'em up runner, I don't get a lot of skips, unfortunately.
Oh, I can imagine. Dang. Yeah, one of my favorite parts about running these Castlevania games, because this is mostly what I play, basically all of them are broken in their own unique way. And it's fun figuring out all the ways you can exploit the game's mechanics and oversights. So yeah, once again, the summon, making quick work of the fight here.
I've always wondered how often the programmers for these games pop into these streams and see their games being broken.
Yeah, I mean, I know there have been some famous examples, like with the Metroid Prime developers at an old GDQ. I feel like it kind of depends. Some seem to enjoy it, some seem horrified. But yeah, I think it's definitely pretty fascinating. Unfortunately, the development team for this game has disbanded. But maybe a former developer could commentate on it one of these days. Okay, so now we're gonna go fight what's probably considered the hardest boss casually, which is the zombie dragons. Well, it's either that or Dracula, but this fight's really tough if you're going with the intended way to play. We are, of course, not going to be playing as intended.
Oh, that music is so good.
This is probably my favorite song in the whole game, I think. It's a good one. This game has very few original songs, but the remixes that are here, I think, are pretty outstanding. And it's crazy to think this is a launch title for the GBA, a system not known for its musical quality, and I think this game really knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I love the music in this. I love music in Castlevanias in general.
So that right there was our first use of the stopwatch weapon. That's our main sub-weapon for this category. It just helps make certain tough rooms a little easier, so no reason not to use it. That is a perfect pattern. Why can't I get that during actual speedruns? It's very annoying. So yeah, that one cycle we got is what you want, but it's pretty rare. 2 cycles a little bit more common. I will say I do think games know when they're being speedran.
I definitely have had issues where, like, if I'm not on stream, I can hit something perfectly. The second I actually sit down to stream it, yeah, no.
I know exactly what you mean.
I was working on a new run in Joan Mac and got on my practice off stream, first time, a 1 cycle. And I've yet to hit that again.
That's how it goes. So once again, we're going to go a little bit out of order here. Oh, that was a little bit off. There it is. Okay. Not bad. I'm going to be a bit low on hearts here because I didn't want to use that stopwatch, but there's an easy farm spot coming up. Okay, so I was really debating what strat I wanted to use for this Hue fight. It is a marathon, so I should probably play safe. But this run's been going great, so I want to give the risky strat one try. We're going to give it one try. There's a save point right there. And if we bail, then I think I have like a good safety strat as a backup. But basically, the risky strat is to use the skeleton, and the safe strat is to use the summon. The skeleton's a good 10 to 15 seconds faster, and it's one of the funniest fights in the whole game. As you'll see, Hue is pretty tough casually, but it doesn't have the best range, the sword, and we're going to capitalize on that. You know, let's go ahead and heal up just to be safe. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's such a good start. Very nice. I need 2 more big bones, and I can't get hit or I'm dead. Nice, oh my god. That's the best luck I've ever gotten on that Hue fight. I'm not even kidding.
Nicely done.
Again, it's a 1 in 8 for the big bone. So that was crazy good. Okay. So that key I just picked up lets us actually go through the door to Dracula the intended way. We don't have to warp up. Okay, but one more boss left before Dracula. We gotta go fight Death, of course. A Castlevania staple. Speaking of music, I think this song is also really good. This is a Super Castlevania 4 remix. Unfortunately, we do have some box puzzles in this area. Sorry, go ahead.
I definitely, as a kid, playing Super Castlevania, would leave it on at night when I'd go to bed so I could have the soundtrack in the background.
Oh, it's such a killer game. Great atmosphere, great music. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
That was probably not great for my SNES, but you know.
So yeah, we're pushing some boxes here. There are some skips. You can see, for example, I only pushed that box, you know, just far enough to make it work. So you can do some optimizations here, but they are box puzzles. Not too much to say. Now might be a great time to either read some donations or perhaps get some donations in if anyone wants to maybe donate $5.
Yeah, we should definitely get a $5 train going here. We got a great cause to support. We're supporting RAD, or Rise Above the Disorder. which is helping to provide funding and access to mental health treatment for people that would otherwise be unable to do so. Something along the lines of 60% of people in America currently do not receive treatment for their mental health conditions because they don't have access or they don't have the funds to do so. So any bit you give can really help change people's lives.
So there are a couple of ways you can fight death. I prefer the summon strat for this. Okay, so that's every boss in the game except for Dracula 2. So we are almost done. However, the final fight is probably the toughest. So I'm going to save beforehand. A death or two here would not be unexpected. I factored that into my time estimate for the game. But yeah, this right here is the closest save point. Just in case, a little safety heal here. Okay, so here we go. There are two phases to this fight. Phase 1, we're using the skeleton. I need 4 big bones here. That's a really good start. 2 more. Nice, okay. Just 1 more. Come on, 1 more. There it is. All right, so we're gonna play it safe. You can use the skeleton on phase 2, and if you were going for record, that's what you would do. But we're gonna go ahead and use a new summon, actually, one we have not seen yet in this run. This is the Thunderbird summon. A little bit better for this fight. And that's time.
Nicely done.
So
Very
what was
nice.
the final time, by the way?
So you're just waiting for it to pop up on.
Wow, what a run. Yeah, I'm super pleased about how well that went. So yeah, that's Circle the Moon. You can complete this game surprisingly quickly. So that's my 1 game for the evening. I'm going to be back on Sunday with a lot more Castlevania. But hopefully you all enjoyed the run today.
So if people wanted to learn this run, where would they go?
Well, I do stream these games every day. You can follow me at twitch.tv/JupiterClimb. We've also got a growing Discord community. I don't have any links on hand, but yeah, we've got a couple of handheld Igavania communities. We're always, happy and eager to welcome new players in, help them get started on learning the speedrun. This one I think is actually very accessible. So if you want to learn this game, this is the category I would recommend.
That was an excellent run, super fun. And coming up next, we got Seb with Phelan Wonderland. You're definitely going to want to check that out. And we'll be dropping down for a little bit of tech, then we'll be right back. So be sure to go get water, hydrate, stretch, and get ready for the next one.